Right now, a tremendous transformation is taking place worldwide, one that Michael Saylor predicted, and Bitcoin is at the center of this development. And South Korea, China's neighboring country, has recently elected a president who supports Bitcoin. He has promised to allow Bitcoin ETFs and even to invest state pension funds in Bitcoin. And that's huge because pension funds don't just manage billions or trillions, but tens of trillions of dollars. Now just imagine what would happen if even a small percentage of that flows into Bitcoin. We're talking about an entirely new dimension for the market, but South Korea is not alone. In the same week, Poland also elected a pro-Bitcoin presidential candidate, and at the same time, Russia's largest bank launched Bitcoin bonds on the market. Yes, you heard that right, and that's not all. 4 European countries, including Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the Czech Republic, are seriously considering building up strategic Bitcoin reserves. It almost seems as if a wave of state actors is pushing into the Bitcoin market. And while all this is happening, 3 new publicly listed companies are buying as many Bitcoins in just 1 week as are usually created in 10 weeks. And that's in addition to the established major buyers, like MicroStrategy, for example, or BlackRock, who have been continuously purchasing Bitcoin for years or months. BlackRock alone holds almost 3% of all existing Bitcoins. But now it's not just companies, it's countries that are getting involved. So it seems that Donald Trump, with his commitment to Bitcoin, has triggered a kind of state-level buying panic. And I believe it's only a matter of time before countries start printing money in order to buy Bitcoin. That sounds totally crazy, but keep in mind, they're already printing money today to buy stocks like those of MicroStrategy or BlackRock, which in turn invest that money in Bitcoin. And this is the incredible development that we will witness live in 2025. And why is this so significant right now? Because with this, Bitcoin is targeting markets worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. And if even a fraction of that flows into Bitcoin, whether through pension funds or government reserves, Bitcoin's market capitalization could rise to tens or even $100 trillion. And that would mean that a single Bitcoin could be worth not just $500,000 or $1 million per Bitcoin, but potentially 10 million or even hundreds of millions of dollars if it comes to the point where everyone gets in. And yes, that may sound far-fetched, but the numbers speak for themselves when you look at the size of these markets. In short, we are on the threshold of a new era in which Bitcoin is no longer just a niche, but could become a central component of global financial systems. And right now, we are seeing that happen. And all of this is happening right now. And it sounds crazy, but Bitcoin is currently conquering various markets. And this is no longer speculation, it's happening live before our eyes. South Korea's president is supporting Bitcoin, and Russia's largest bank is issuing Bitcoin bonds. So why is this important for us now, especially if we are investing in crypto and Bitcoin? Because after the US froze its government bonds in 2022, Russia realized that only Bitcoin truly belongs to you. Everything else can be taken away from you at any time. And this is just the beginning. Individuals as well, especially in Europe, will very soon realize that they need to invest their money in Bitcoin because otherwise the state will take their money away. They will have the same experience that Russia had in 2022. And what we are seeing right now, states are printing money to buy Bitcoin. For example, the Swiss National Bank has once again bought shares of MicroStrategy, a company that is heavily invested in Bitcoin. And Switzerland is not a small country like El Salvador, for instance, but rather a global safe haven. It was the last country to abandon the gold standard. And if its central bank is now printing money to get Bitcoin, that says a lot. So why is there this pressure now? Bitcoin is scarce, but demand is currently exploding. More and more players are getting involved, not just companies, but entire countries. And this growing demand, combined with limited supply, is driving the price up. The price we're seeing for Bitcoin right now won't stay that way for long. It's also interesting to see what some companies are doing at the moment. Business intelligence software providers are secretly buying MicroStrategy shares to gain indirect exposure to Bitcoin, to invest in Bitcoin indirectly. And at the same time, they publicly talk down Bitcoin and say, don't trust Bitcoin, it's absolutely unsafe, and so on. Instead, buy our risky alternatives, or for example, the Swiss franc. And that's their trick used by banks, for example, or certain companies, but everyone can judge that for themselves. And when it comes to nations, South Korea has an economy worth $1.7 trillion. The country is jumping in out of FOMO, that is, the fear of missing out. According to Bitcoin treasuries, their neighbor North Korea is said to have the 5th largest Bitcoin reserve in the world with almost 14,000 Bitcoin. For comparison, the USA holds 270,000 Bitcoin, China holds 194,000 Bitcoin, the United Kingdom holds 61,000 Bitcoin, and Ukraine an astonishing 46,000 Bitcoin. And that gives you something to think about. South Korea hesitated for a long time, but now they're electing a pro-Bitcoin president. And Poland, with a gross domestic product of just under $800 billion, is doing the same. And this trend is gaining more and more momentum. It's no longer just small countries like El Salvador, but major players like Switzerland, for example, South Korea and Poland. More and more countries are jumping on this FOMO train, that is the fear of missing out. And we haven't even heard all the good news yet. That means if you want to beat public corporations, billionaires and nations, you only have a few years left. So start buying Bitcoin today. This is not financial advice, but financial entertainment. Don't wait. Michael Saylor even believes that Bitcoin could reach $1 million per Bitcoin in the near future, if not even more. And that means if you want to achieve financial independence now through Bitcoin and crypto, click the link in the description below the video. Watch the video.
And at what point do we actually see, winter coming again? Because that's been a permanent fixture of this particular asset class, right? It's gone from 0 or 1,000 to 20, and then back down to 3 or 4, and then up to 50, and then back down to 15, and now up to 110. Like, when does it drop again?
Winter is not coming back. We're past that. We're past that phase. If Bitcoin is not going to 0, it's going to $1 million. And you have all the evidence you need to determine that, right? The president of the United States has determined he supports Bitcoin. The cabinet supports Bitcoin. Scott Pessin supports Bitcoin. Paul Atkins has shown himself to be an enthusiastic believer in Bitcoin and digital assets. Kentes at the CFTC feels the same way. The banks are going to custody Bitcoin. Bitcoin has made it through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected. Now, there are only 450 Bitcoin a day available for sale by natural sellers. That's the miners. At this level, that works out to about $50 million of Bitcoin available for sale every day. If that $50 million is bought, then the price has to move up to find any seller who's price sensitive. Now, if you do the math, you'll actually see that the Bitcoin treasury companies alone are buying up the entire natural supply.
Yeah.
BlackRock and the ETFs are buying another portion of that. And we've got nation-state actors coming into the space. So I think when Bitcoin rallies, if it surges to 500,000 or $1 million, then maybe we could talk about it crashing down by $200,000 a coin. But at the current price levels, it only takes $50 million to turn the entire drive shaft of the crypto economy one turn. And you've got the Trump Media Organization announcing $2.5 billion. You've got GameStop announcing $500 million. You've got my company that's raising billions and billions of dollars. So the writing is on the wall. Bitcoin rises.
And now things are getting exciting. Many are asking themselves, the bull run is coming. What can you do now? What if Bitcoin reaches $1 million per Bitcoin? My advice, don't sell your Bitcoin. Instead, find a way to take out loans against your Bitcoin. So don't sell, but rather take out loans. And I would say, don't sell, avoid fees and tax burdens, which is totally crazy. More and more people are predicting a Bitcoin price of 1 million. Tom Lee is even predicting 3 million per Bitcoin, simply because demand keeps rising while the supply is limited. And they even believe that we could see these prices in this cycle. Yes, it's crazy, but that's exactly what we're talking about right now. I expect that by 2027, there will be no more Bitcoin available on the exchanges. That's when things will get really, really interesting. And the important thing about all of this is you have to store your Bitcoin yourself. Make sure you hold them yourself offline by 2027 at the latest. I've been advising you to do this for a long time, and I understand that newcomers sometimes need 2 or 3 reminders. That's why I make these videos. So if you want to store your crypto and your Bitcoin offline now, click the link in the description below the video and do it. Please do not store your Bitcoin on Coinbase. Never keep your Bitcoins on a centralized exchange, especially not on one that offers thousands of altcoins. That simply shows that they do not align with the Bitcoin mission. If they list thousands of altcoins, it's obviously only about profit for them, not about protecting your Bitcoin. And yes, $3 million according to Tom Leap, still within this decade, that's absolutely insane and hard for anyone to imagine. Yet, that's actually a conservative estimate. As we see every week, the game theory is accelerating rapidly. It's getting crazier and crazier. Just take a look at which European countries are now talking about strategic Bitcoin reserves. Even the United Kingdom, once the global reserve currency, is considering it, especially since Nigel Farage, a prominent politician in England, not only accepts Bitcoin donations, but also promises we are starting a crypto revolution in the UK and making London the trading hub. It's incredible that hardly anyone is talking about this. With 68 million inhabitants, that's huge, a massive piece of news. That means these are no longer small countries. The big players are now engaged in a Bitcoin arms race, and it's going to get even more intense, and we're probably not at all prepared for what's coming our way in the next weeks, months, and even years. And most people are simply asleep. Don't be one of those people. Take action now. Time is running out for us.